We often think our lives are shaped by these huge, dramatic moments. But what if I told you that's not the real story? What if the future you're building is actually being written in the tiny, almost invisible choices you make every single day? Yeah, we're talking about the small stuff that adds up to become everything.
And this, right here, this is the fundamental choice we all face, isn't it? It's not about some big event that happens to you, it's about the sum of your daily actions. The difference between that wow moment and staying stuck, well, it isn't luck. It's a long chain of intentional choices, and it all starts today.
And here's the really good news. It is not as complicated as you might think. You don't need 1,000 different life hacks or some crazy new productivity app. Nope. It really just boils down to getting a handle on just two critical areas of your life.
So what are they? First, it's how you use the very first hour of your day. And second, it's about truly understanding the hidden psychology that drives your decisions, especially when it comes to money. If you can master these two things, you pretty much master the game. So let's break it down.
Okay, first up, your prime time. The whole idea is simple. If you can win that first hour, you gain this incredible psychological edge that carries you through the entire day. It's about starting on the offense, not playing defense from the moment you wake up.
And there's some really powerful science behind this. Get this, your brain can be up to 40% more focused right after you wake up. That is your absolute peak mental state. And what do most of us do with it? We waste it, scrolling through social media. But the people who really get ahead, they protect that window like it's gold.
And here's why that time is so critical. Scientists call it flow-prone neuroplasticity. Fancy term, right? But just think of it like this. In the morning, your brain is like wet cement. If you pour in a bunch of distraction and drama from social media, well, that's what hardens and sets the foundation for your day. But if you pour in learning, focus, and real intention, you're literally cementing growth.
So how do you actually do it? Here's a super simple, actionable plan, the 5 a.m. power ritual. Seriously, it's not complicated. 1. Drink water, hydrate your brain. 2. Move your body, get the blood flowing. 3. Write down just one, clear goal for the day. 4. Learn something new, read a few pages, whatever. And finally, and listen, this is the most important part. You have to protect this hour. No notifications, no emails, no drama. This hour is yours, period.
All right, so you've got your morning actions on lock. But what about what's going on inside your head? We got to talk about money. Because you can have all the discipline in the world, but you can still completely sabotage yourself if you don't get a handle on the hidden psychological traps that are designed to work against your wealth. We all like to think we're these rational beings with spreadsheets for brains when it comes to finance. But we're not. Let's be real. Our decisions are driven by our personal histories, our biases, our emotions. Your own personal experience with money pretty much shapes 100% of how you see the financial world.
And one of the biggest traps is confusing these two things right here. Looking rich is all about spending. It's the fancy car, the expensive watch, it's all the stuff you can see. But being rich, real wealth is actually what you don't see. It's the money that hasn't been turned into stuff yet. It's the financial assets that are quietly growing in the background.
I mean, it's so true, isn't it? The desire to signal to everyone else that you've made it is a direct path to, well, having less. Spending money just to show people you have money is literally the fastest way to have less of it. We see someone driving a $100,000 car and we just assume they're rich. But what we don't see is the giant car loan, the stress, the pressure to keep up with that image. But here's the hilarious, kind of sad paradox. Even if you buy all the fancy stuff to get people to admire you, it doesn't even work. It's called the man in the car paradox. When you see someone in a Ferrari, you're not thinking, wow, that driver is so cool. You're thinking, wow, I would look so cool in that car. You're just projecting your own desires onto their stuff. You're not actually admiring them.
Okay, so if trying to look rich is a total trap, what's the actual path to building real wealth? Well, it's probably not what you think. It's not about flashy moves. It's about a completely different and kind of counterintuitive mindset.
This is something almost nobody talks about. The skills you need to get rich are totally different from the skills you need to stay rich. Getting rich often takes some boldness, some risk-taking, a lot of optimism. But staying rich, that takes humility, caution, and the ability to just survive. You got to remember, building wealth is offense, but keeping it is all defense. So how do you play good defense? You save. And I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. Savings isn't just what's left over at the end of the month. It's a conscious choice. It is the literal space you create between what your ego wants you to spend to impress people and what you actually earn. The bigger that gap, the more freedom you've got. And all of this leads us to the real secret weapon. The one thing that does all the heavy lifting for you. It's not some genius stock pick. It's not some complex strategy. The most powerful force in building wealth is just time. It's the quiet magic of compounding.
And if you want proof, just look at the legend Warren Buffett. The numbers here are just mind-blowing. By age 65, he was already a multi-billionaire. But check this out. Over 97%, let me say that again, 97% of his entire net worth was earned after his 65th birthday. That's not from taking bigger risks. That's just from good returns compounding over a ridiculously long period of time. He just stayed in the game.
Okay, so let's bring these two big ideas together now. Mastering your morning and mastering your money mindset, they aren't separate things. They're two sides of the very same coin. It's all about building the identity of the person you actually want to become, one tiny choice at a time.
I really want you to let this sink in. Waking up early isn't just a chore. Skipping that impulse purchase isn't a sacrifice. Every single time you make one of these intentional choices, you are casting a vote for a future version of yourself. A vote for the you who is disciplined, focused, and financially free.
And those votes, man, they add up way faster than you think. Just one intentional hour every morning gives you 365 extra hours of focused work on yourself in a single year. That is over 9 full-time work weeks dedicated entirely to your growth. Insane, right?
And now, let's zoom out to that 5-year horizon we talked about at the very beginning. That single daily habit compounds into over 1,800 intentional hours. You could literally earn a master's degree from a university in that time. But instead, you're earning a master's degree in you.
And it all starts with one tiny, simple action. A choice so mundane we usually just overlook its power. Just remember this: small hinges swing big doors. That alarm clock on your nightstand, it's not just a tool to wake you up. It is the hinge that can swing open the door to the entire future you say you want.
So it all comes down to this one question. Tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off, you have a choice to make. Are you going to vote for the same old habits and the same old results? Or are you going to cast a vote for that disciplined, focused, and wealthy future version of you? The choice, as always, is yours.